Packers will have a first and goal. Receiver to the right, Jimmy Graham. Rodgers, quick toss in the flat, left side, got his man for the end zone, and a touchdown.
First and Goal podcast on Spreaker.com. And we're now on all your favorite platforms: iHeartRadio, Spotify, Castbox, Google Podcasts, Tumblr, YouTube, and SoundCloud. You can always follow us on Twitter at First and Goal Pod, and our Facebook page, facebook.com/First and Goal Pod 33.
Get money, yeah. Every day I'm hustling. 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 3, 2, 1.
Welcome, everybody, to another live edition of First and Goal with me, your founder and producer, Jay, in the UP. And from Georgia, our host with the most, Dave.
What's going on, guys and gals? Ooh, today was a good day. We're finally getting football back in our lives. And then next week we get the Hall of Fame game. So this is the last week without a football game in our lives in the near future. I'm excited, Jay. How about you?
It feels like football season. Yes, it does. And also, it feels like to me that a lot of narratives are going to start either being true or they're going to be discovered as kind of hot take-ish. This is the season where people got to start the money. I should say the checks start coming in to get cashed on all the off-season chatter, starting now.
Yeah, and actually today during the training camp, there was a lot of storylines that came out today, and a lot of fun facts that happened. I'm just ready to talk about it here because there's so much, and especially with our guest Dusty coming on here soon, I can't wait to talk about it with him because I know he's probably excited because he's probably wanting to talk about some of his guys he always has like a personal heartthrob for. But you know what? I got to say it, even though the Packers are back in training camp, I got to do the news because there was some important stuff today.
Well, then let's get right to it then.
News updates.
What do you got for news today?
Well, some big stuff happened. Like Ezekiel Elliott did not report to camp with his team on the team plane. They're hoping he may show up by himself. I doubt it because, to me, like we talked about Tuesday, Jay, we think that Zeke is feeling disrespected because of the fact Jerry's trying to pay Dak before him. I'm pretty sure Zeke is the more of a weapon than Dak is to that offense. And I just can't believe that they're putting him on the back burner like this. Like, I'm sorry, they paid Gurley the money. They paid Bell the money. Why can't Zeke get his money? He's the one that's been leading the yards every single year. It just amazes me that they can't give that respect.
Can I say this? Did the Rams win?
Sure, go on ahead.
Did the Rams win the Super Bowl last year?
They came close.
Have the Steelers won the Super Bowl since they started franchising Le'Veon Bell?
No, but they...
Have the Falcons won a Super Bowl since they paid Devontae Freeman?
Well, Devontae Freeman's not the same guy as Zeke Bell.
No, stop it. I'm
different caliber running back.
Nope. I'm saying in this league, you don't pay running backs because when you pay running backs, you're paying a position that ages 3 times faster than other players and has injuries and breaks down about 4 or 5 times faster. You want to win championships, you got to have a run game, but you can't pay one guy because he's never going to run you to a championship. This is a new era.
But what
of
I'm
football.
saying, if I had to pick, but Dallas right now is built on the line and the running back. It's not built on Dak. You can go find another Dak Prescott in the next coming 2 drafts each. Like, sorry, I can't.
I can find a lot of Ezekiel Elliott. Just because he was drafted 4th overall does not mean that he's
wow,
some
the
super
disrespect.
special talent. Really? Because, okay, so Le'Veon Bell was drafted right before Eddie Lacy in the 2nd round, and yet that would be like, what? That was like 62, I believe, or something like that. And Zeke Elliott was drafted 4th overall, and who's getting paid more? Again, I'm telling you, people are giving Zeke Elliott, he's a great back, but you're giving him too much hype and, you should pay him because he was drafted 4th overall. You just, I don't give a shit where you
it's
draft him.
because it's produced every year.
Yeah, so have a lot of other guys. Look across the league. There are 1,000-yard rushers that come as undrafted free agents, dude. If you have a good line, we have one that we're talking about all the time, and Dexter Williams, who's a 6th-round pick behind a good offensive line and a good scheme, can be over 1,000-yard rusher, and I expect it. So, look, Zeke is a great back, okay? But there's a lot of great backs there. People are stuck on a narrative because of where he was drafted, okay? That's all it is, guys. Like, great backs are great backs. It doesn't matter if you're undrafted or drafted 4th overall, but you still can't pay them. It doesn't matter. You can't pay them.
I would pay Zeke before I pay Dak. Any day of the week.
You know why you can't pay? Those are 2 different conversations, though, buddy. Honestly, the reason you can't pay Dak is not because you have to pay one or the other. The reason you don't pay Dak is because Dak isn't a franchise quarterback worthy of being paid franchise.
But that's the problem.
Money.
Jerry wants to pay him franchise QB money. That's the problem. I'm not arguing Zeke shouldn't get paid a massive amount of money. What I'm saying is that they're putting their focus on Dak before Zeke. Zeke should get paid before Dak, and Dak should get paid even after Amari Cooper, because Dak wouldn't have been anywhere near if Amari Cooper wasn't there last year.
I'm just saying, these running backs are going to hold out. And then they're either going to get paid or they're going to be on another team that pays them. And then watch in 3 years and tell me how many championships after they got paid they ran their team to. Because when you pay a franchise quarterback, most of the time you're getting playoff success, even if it isn't ultimately a Super Bowl, because only one team wins it. But at least you're getting playoff success. Le'Veon Bell hasn't had playoff success. He gets injured every time. How many playoff games has Zeke ran his team to? I'm just saying, like, it's not a position in the modern era of football that you pay that player because you need he depends on more things to be successful than even a quarterback does. A quarterback controls more than a running back. A running back, even if he's great, is still the result of a lot of other things being successful. That's all. It's just a waste of money, I guess, is my point, Dave, in the modern era of football. This was 20 years ago. It's different.
I'm still sticking by Zeke gets money first before Dak. That's all I'm saying. Dak shouldn't get $30 million, and then if you paid Dak $20 million, as he should, then you'd have enough money for everyone. But he wants $30 million for what? For riding Zeke's coattails. He went 3-3 with Zeke out. That's my argument.
I'm just arguing that it's just a wasted position. I'm not even arguing the Dak point because I don't even think Dak's worth $20 million a year. I think Dak's a $15 million.
That's what falls into my argument.
I think Dak's a $15 to $17 million a year quarterback, and then you just continue to pay and surround him with good talent. And he is the embodiment of Trent Dilfer with better athletic skills. Okay, that's why you don't pay him, because then you can't afford to keep all the team around him, even with the cap going forward. And he needs all the help. He needs to have his 3rd and 4th receiver, even if they're not going to use him a lot, be very good in case of injuries so that he doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, with a quarterback like Dak, you have to have extra money, not just for starters to surround him, but to also have good quality depth for when those starters go down to keep him rolling. And that's why you don't pay Dak the amount of money even you were talking about. I guess that's my point.
Yeah, I completely agree. That's why Stephen Jones should be handling it, not Jerry, like we discussed the other night. But I got to move on, so I got to get to this other news. Another big holdout out of nowhere. Michael Thomas for the Saints, a top 10 receiver on the verge of a top 5 receiver. The guy's holding out, and I'm sorry. If he holds out, Saints offense is nowhere near what it will ever be without him. Michael Thomas is a beast. I cannot see that offense running at full sixth gear without Michael Thomas, or with Michael Thomas not in the offense. I can't see it. And
another point to be made about holding out too, when these guys hold out, you screw your whole season up. You're not getting the proper training, then you end up with soft tissue injuries, you end up with nagging injuries, and your season almost becomes lost in a pursuit of money. Where, let's be real here, the NFL is results-based. If you're Michael Thomas and Ezekiel and you really want to get paid, there's always risk injury. But it's easier to get your money when you show up and start producing and do the right things. You have to gamble on yourself, and that's the problem. This is where I get a little irritated with these players whining. Guys have always gotten injured. And back in the day, dudes had a little more guts and testicle fortitude and betting on themselves to get results. And yes, I know there's many of examples, and you can say, "Oh, that's stupid." My personal belief is I bet on myself and my body, knowing what I do every day and all the stuff I do, and show up to camp so that I don't end up like. Because the other side of it is almost 100% guaranteed. He's not going to show up to camp. All these guys hold out. And then they show up, and you know it's going to happen, Dave. And you're screwed kind of either way. So it's kind of selfish to me, this whole holdout right now when you don't report, when you've already done other stuff. This is the season's here. You should stop worrying about that now. It's time to play football, man.
But do you ever notice something, Jay? When have you ever seen somebody from the Packers hold out on a contract? You never see it. It's always,
Javon
let's
Walker,
go play.
Mike McKenzie both had injuries, had problems, and did not finish the season in which they held out in. That's my point.
How long ago was that is my point. That was early 2000s, brother.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, even in those examples,
we're not
seasons.
a team. Yeah, but we're not. But you're still not seeing my point. You're not seeing the big picture. Packers don't have people that hold out because they buy into the team mentality of this small town feature. And when you got guys like New Orleans, big city, the guy was always wanting attention. Dallas and the stadiums in Arlington. I mean, big cities. Green Bay, not a big city. And I just think that really affects the players there into being in more team first.
We've been arguing a lot, and you know what we need to do is we need to get on break and get Dusty on the phone so we can argue.
Wait, I got 3 more news things. Come on.
Go ahead, quickly.
All right. So the first round is completely signed for the draft picks. Quinnen Williams signed with Jets. Bosa signed with the 49ers. It was some hefty deals, but, I mean, they got them done, but they're also top 3 picks in the draft. Redskins are meeting with left tackle Donald Penn. I really hope they don't sign him. I don't like his attitude. I don't like his play. Donald Penn seems like a lot of selfishness. And then the one that hurts the most, Mike Daniels got cut. It was needed. It's sad, but we'll talk about that with Dusty when we get back from break.
Are you all finished now? Should we go on break and get Dusty on the phone?
What do you think I said? God.
I'm just reiterating to make sure that I don't cut you off, that's all. I just don't want to cut you off, man.
It's okay. It's okay. All done.
Been so long, been trying this shit for years. And I got nothing to show, just coming in.